So let's talk about a religion that was completely founded on hate. I grew up in a beach town, and like most beach towns, we have a real liking of reggae music. And when I was young, I was very much into Bob Marley's music and really diving into that dreadlock Rasta. When I got into studying religions and spirituality, I was shocked to find out that Rastafarianism and the Rastafari, do not like the words with isms on them, but when I started studying Rastafari, I discovered very quickly that it was founded on hatred. It's really an interesting religion / political movement, because it's both. It's a combination of the two. And though it's founded in Protestantism, it is not really following the Protestant faith like the rest of the world does. Let me dive into some things about the religion, which I think you might find very interesting. You know, the Rastafari movement started in the 1930s, and it had a lot to do with the subjugation of black people in slavery, and how Jamaica had become their hell. And the government of Jamaica had become very, very much the devil that they were fighting. The name Rastafari is interesting because the Rastafarians believe in a supreme being named Jah, which is God, and that like Christian faith that has Jesus, the Rastafarians had Haile Selassie as who they believe was the divine prophet of God. Now, Haile Selassie is a title, and the word Ras is also a title. And before he became Haile Selassie, he was Ras Tafari. So they are believers in Ras Tafari. Now, one of the things about Rastafari that's so interesting is in the early leader of the movement in Jamaica was a guy named Leonard Howell, and he was arrested by the Jamaican government in 1933 for preaching revolutionary doctrines. Howell established the first commune of Rastafari, and he had 6 principles of Rastafari which need to live over the years, okay? The first of these 6 principles is hatred for the white race. Hatred for the white race. So this whole movement, this whole religion is based upon the idea of hatred of the white race. The second doctrine, or principles, the complete superiority of the black race. So it's already saying that the black race are superior to the whites. So it's already division, and it's already hatred, and it's already, not being equal or loving to another aspect of humanity. It starts out with hatred and superiority. The third principle is revenge on the wickedness of white peoples. So it's literally getting revenge for what white people have done to black people. Number 4, now this is where it crosses the line between religion and political movement. Because number 4 is the negation, persecution, and humiliation of the government and legal bodies of Jamaica. So it literally is saying that we're in hell and we're fighting hell. And they refer to Jamaica as hell. And they're fighting the government and legal bodies of Jamaica because they are the people who run hell. They are the devil and demons. The 5th principle is a preparation for the return to Africa. So in other words, they're going back to the homeland, going back to Africa, and undoing their slavery. And number 6 is acknowledging Emperor Haile Selassie as the supreme being and only ruler of black people. And they believe that Haile Selassie was going to become this living God. And their movement kind of got destroyed a little bit in 1975 when he died, because the return to Africa was supposed to be when he decided, when Rastafari decided to go back to Africa. Tafari Makonnen was his real name, and he changed it on his coronation in November 1930. The Ras, which was the title before, he was either a duke or a prince of Ethiopia. So he's an Ethiopian king. Now, he identified himself as the 225th king of biblical Ethiopia. You see, for Rastas, Haile Selassie is a black messiah. He redeems the black people who were exiled from Africa through slavery. Rastafari beliefs rejects subordinate status of black people under colonialism. So in other words, the slavers who came here creating the colonies, and Rastafaris reject the entire idea of slavery as part of the hell and the exile that they are, being the exiled Jews. They believe themselves to be the exiled Jews of Israel. As I said earlier, they refer to God as Jah, but Jah is shortened from Yahweh or Jehovah, and so they call him Jah as kind of a nickname for Jehovah, I'm assuming. And Jah, the spirit of Jah, has been manifested in Moses and Jesus and Haile Selassie. Now they don't put Muhammad in that line. They don't put Baha'u'llah in that line. They believe it was Jesus, Moses, Jesus, and then Haile Selassie. But God is present in all people, and in earlier Rastafari thought, it was limited to black people. Because of their status as descendants of slaves, they say that they were God's chosen people, the Israelites. And they were taken as slaves as part of their exile in Babylon, a land of oppression. They adapted the biblical narrative that the Jews were exiled in Babylon. And Babylon is the name given to the white colonial system. It stands for evil. So their battle against the devil, their battle against evil, is based around this idea that the slaves were brought to the colonies, and the colonial system is all part of the exile of these ancient Jews from Babylon. And eventually the Rastas will be delivered from Babylon, which is where they are now, and returned to Zion, which is the Rastafari, is Ethiopia, and return to Zion, which for the Rastafari is Ethiopia, or Africa more generally. Ethiopia is heaven, also known as Zion. And it's the promised land for the chosen people, where they finally are free, and Jamaica is hell. There is no single authority and doctrine for the Rastafari. It is up to the individual interpretation how God or Jah is manifested for them. After Haile Selassie died, their movement sort of lost direction, because everything they thought that they were creating from the 1930s was geared around Haile Selassie saying, let's go back to Africa, and undoing the slavery. And so when you look at what happened to the Rasta movement after that, they started letting white people in. When you see the guys with the dreadlocks and the red, green, and yellow hats, that's the flag of Ethiopia that they're wearing. They're literally wearing the clothing of heaven. But their belief is originally founded on this hatred of their slave status, the hatred of white people, the superiority of the black race, and how they are the chosen people of God. And when you look at that belief system, you find it very prevalently. I will never stop loving Bob Marley music. Three Little Birds is an amazing song. It's beautiful. It's light. Rise up this morning, smile at the rising sun. Three little birds sit by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melody pure and true. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. And so over the course of the years, what's happened is the Rastafarian movement has really morphed into more of a cult group that is based really around marijuana and ganja. But there are still people who are very, very strict in their belief in Rastafarianism. But now you see all kinds of people who are living into that lifestyle because of it, really because of the cannabis, because of the marijuana, and they don't really know what they're emulating in the world. But this religion was founded on hate. It was founded on not only hate but atrocities done to a people. And when you tie that together with a political structure, that's why they say church and state should never be together, because when you tie it together with political structure, it just gets worse. It just gets really bad. And when you look at this from the aspect of I am creating something beautiful in the world, you can't start with the foundation of hate. If you start with the foundation of hate, you're going to end in a world of hate. So that I wanted to share this about the Rastafarian movement and the religion of Rastafari, because I think it's a misunderstood religion. People really think that it's something earthy and all of that, but it's really a political movement that ties into biblical belief, and it's a real mishmash of hate and anger and desire to be better than another race, another culture, because of the trauma that their race has endured. So it's really kind of a sad story, and I hope that we can never have a religion of hate be formed again because of the atrocities in the world that are happening now. And that's kind of my thought on this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Rastafari. It's a short one, I know. It's not as long as some of the other ones, but it will give you at least a little primer on the religion of Rastafari. You guys have a great day. I'll see you. Bye.